India's election juggernaut rolls on and sees the fifth phase of elections on Monday. And this time, the big battleground is Mumbai. As campaigning comes to a close, Mumbai saw a bevy of political leaders descend upon the maximum city, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi holding a major rally in the city's iconic Shivaji Park ground, while the India bloc held a rally, a show of unity as it were, in Bhiwandi. Now, the stakes couldn't be higher. After all, Mumbai is the treasury of the nation and drives its economy, generating 6.16% of India's GDP and accounting for 25% of the nation's industrial output. That's not all. 70% of maritime trade in India and 70% of capital transactions to India's economy happen where? They happen in Aamchi, Mumbai. But the story of Mumbai is that of two cities. One, which is a pinnacle of infrastructural marvels, from the Mumbai monorail to the Atal Setu. The other is a city which tests your will to live on your everyday commute, comes to its knees after a small spell of rain, and one day can send an illegal billboard tumbling down on you to take your life. It happened in Ghatkopar, killing 16 people. Clearly, the nation's tijori is in need for some tender, loving care from the netas who quote it very lovingly in poll season, but are quick to ignore it soon after. Times Network caught up with the Thackeray scion, Aditya Thackeray, while he was campaigning for his party in Mumbai. Junior Thackeray says Prime Minister Modi's rallies in Mumbai show that the Mahayudh is scared. He also has some very harsh words for his former party colleague and Chief Minister, Eknath Shinde. Listen in.
The 2024 Lok Sabha elections moves to a crucial fifth phase now, and some of the significant seats, be it Mumbai, Thane, Kalyan, Palghar, considered to be predominantly considered to be the strongholds of Barasaheb Thackeray. Now these seats will be going to polls. With me is the grandson of late Barasaheb Thackeray. Now with me is the Yuva Sena chief, Aditya Thackeray, son of Uddhav Thackeray. Clearly a litmus test for you as well as for the new alliance of BJP and CM Eknath Shinde. Also a litmus test?
I've heard this word litmus test for the last 20 years now, be it any BMC that comes up or any other thing. So litmus test is not new to us. We enjoy these litmus tests and we come out successfully. What is crucial is this is a do or die moment for our country, India. We're here protecting our constitution, protecting our democratic rights and values. On the other side, you see a BJP that's wanting to change our constitution. They're wanting to finish off our democratic values. I think that is the fight, really. So it's a litmus test more for our country and our country's voters.
PM Modi held a rally in Mumbai Northeast. How was the response according to you? How do you look at the rally with respect to the voting perspective as well? Are there jitteries or does it make you more confident now?
I think we're more confident with the more rallies he has. We're more confident getting confident each day. It's not overconfidence. With all humility, I'm saying we're really confident because when we were together, when Uddhav Barasaheb Thackeray was with the BJP, the Prime Minister did not have to come to Maharashtra so many times, both in 14 and 19. Did not have to do road shows in Maharashtra. It's the first time a small strip of road in a particular locality in Mumbai, he had to hold a road show. The sad part is, just day before yesterday, 2 days ago, there was a hoarding crash. Many people died under it. Many people are still stuck. The rescue operations are going on. And at the same time, the BJP was celebrating something, dancing there, and the Prime Minister did not go to visit the injured or to the crash site. That is very disturbing because the crash site, I don't think, is even half a kilometer away from where these celebrations were happening.
You mentioned about the hoarding crash. Yes. Extremely unfortunate incident. Imagine people waiting in a queue to fill up a CNG and petrol and dying. But one question over here, when we spoke to every rain, we see these kind of apathy and incidents. Political blame game takes place. Here also BJP blaming your party, you blaming BJP. Why the Aam Aadmi always has to suffer in Mumbai?
No, we haven't blamed the BJP. You know, to blame the BJP, there are many more things. Now, someone from the BJP showed someone's photo with us and all that. Like that, Revanna stood and posed with the Prime Minister, but we're not blaming him. The point is, Mumbai needs a single ruling authority, single town planning authority, which has to be governed by elected officials. Now, 2.5 years, BMC hasn't had a mayor or an elected official. The administrator, the BMC administrator, is now directly from the officers cadre, not elected, not listening to the people. The MMRD is under the Chief Minister. You have the railways authorities. Now you see what happens generally is when you have an unelected body or an administrator running BMC today and the railways which has no answerability to Mumbai, you have incidents like Gokhale Bridge and Barfiwala flyover. The distance couldn't be matched by the both authorities. The point is any city needs one single town planning authority, and that's what we've been seeing, be it the east coast of Mumbai, be it the railway land, be it the Mahayudh land, be it SRA or MMRDA. Why do you need MMRD in the city?
This phase of elections, Aditya ji, was these constituencies primarily were considered to be the strongholds of your grandfather. Now there is Eknath Shinde as well, who's saying that we are the true custodians now. We basically take forward their Hindutva. What is the fight exactly about? Make or break between the two factions, future of the alliance to be decided? How do you look at it?
Not really. I mean, I don't look at cowards as custodians of my grandfather's legacy. They had to run away to Gujarat and Guwahati and Goa, dance on tables. My grandfather would have never encouraged all of this. The whole idea is today, this is not about who's fighting against us or who we are fighting against. The idea is the idea of Bharat, India, which today is at an inflection point. It's at a crucial point whether we have democracy further or no, whether we have the constitution governing us or no. That is really the bigger challenge which I see today. The BJP as such, if you see, is speak on all other issues than the main points. And we're saying speak on the issues that really matter to the country. Be it unemployment, be it the rising prices, inflation. These are issues that really matter to the common man. These are the promises made by us with the BJP when we were forming the NDA government in 2014. But the BJP's forgotten all of it and they're speaking on mutton mas machi.
What do you want to tell CM Eknath Shinde? Because while speaking to us, he said that 2019 elections were contested on Hindutva lines, and then an attempt was made to go with the Congress party. That's irked us. Now, what do you want to tell him?
Nothing. I have nothing to say to cowards. I would have spoken to someone who could have spoken like a gentleman, not behaved like a coward. But I don't speak about cowards or to cowards.
Let me start by Yashwant Deshmukh. Mr. Deshmukh, thank you very much for coming all the way to our studios. It's your first time, so thank you very much, your debut as it were. Can I start by asking you, look at the pictures we are getting in from Maharashtra, in fact from Mumbai. So you have two show of strengths from the opposing warring sides. What is the optics according to you when you look at the screen?
Well, the optics are pretty much, in the line that Maharashtra underwent a kind of a bipolarity to three-cornered to four-cornered. And the funny thing and irony part of it is that the corners are within the corners. So that's from the political strategists or political analyst perspective, sometimes is very fascinating. But from the voters' perspective, that's very frustrating. And this is what in our trackers we have been continuously maintaining that, whatever the government formation is being tried, earlier Uddhav Thackeray government and then the BJP government, both the governments were not really very much going down, gelling along with the public perception at large, because the matter of fact is that every voter in Maharashtra right now is feeling cheated because every party in Maharashtra has disrespected the mandate that was given last time.
But last time the mandate was given to the BJP originally.
That's what I'm saying. So Uddhav Thackeray going to Congress, that itself was a disrespect of the mandate, and BJP aligning with Pawar Jr. was equally in that way kind of disrespectful. So all the voters look at that, okay, we voted for this and that party, and that party is not standing where I thought that party would be standing. So obviously that was supposed to take a toll, and that taking the toll is in terms of turnout, because you have seen that Maharashtra turnout has dropped quite significantly, and that has largely to do with the fact that people felt cheated. Now, when a turnout drops that much, then everybody is scrapping the barrel actually in terms of turnout. People are going back to the really core of the core votes to plead them that you please come out and vote. So this election, from a physiological perspective, is actually going to provide us quite a significant baseline of all the parties where do they actually stand when it comes to their own cadre-based votes.
And you have been saying for the last 1.5 years that Maharashtra is not going to be as easy for the BJP as is generally being perceived. Is it because of the khichdi that has pakored with the splits in the Shiva Sena? and the NCP. Is there any sympathy factor for Uddhav Thackeray? Will that help him?
Well, certainly yes, and that's in our tracker with the MOTN and otherwise we have been saying, and every time we came out with the numbers that okay, it's not looking good for the NDA in Maharashtra at this point of time. Every time there was some khalbali, something, you know, they did something extra that okay, let's do this, let's do that. But the thing is that basically I believe that you know, Devendra Fadnavis going in the wee early morning hours or way past midnight with Ajit Pawar to you know, take the shapath in a very, very weird way. It started going wrong from there. You know, looked like a political masterstroke at that point of time, but somewhere, you know, it left a bitter taste among the core BJP voters as well. So there is a contradiction of sort right now. I still actually cannot understand and cannot see how a core Shiv Sainik who sympathizes with Uddhav Thackeray, but will he or she come out and vote for a Congress candidate in order to defeat Narendra Modi? Huge contradiction. Similarly, a core BJP voter, he or she will go out and vote for an Ajit Pawar candidate. Core, you know, it's a kind of contradiction which, you know, the core voter would say, yaar zahar de do, खा लूंगा, but इसको vote करने को मत बोलो. Because we don't realize that, you see, all these things, permutation, combination, when they are plastered from the top, they don't realize that the politics is always local. At the grassroots level equations, at each and every booth, every village, the taluka, that level, where people take the sides is the businesses that are local businesses they are involved, local caste arithmetic that is involved, and then you nurture somebody, you know, all along the days that okay, you will be our face, and then you kind of do a tie-up on the top, and all of a sudden I feel like, oh, now I have to campaign for the person for whom I have been campaigning against for the last 2 decades, and my political identity is based on a position of this guy.
Correct.
And you are asking me now to vote for him and campaign for him. So that is not going down well.
So as they say, it's complicated.
It's extremely complicated and it's unfortunately complicated.
Acha. Now we've spoken about Maharashtra as a whole. Does Mumbai vote like Maharashtra? Because in the fag end of the election, in the 5th phase, it's Mumbai and all of Mumbai's 7 seats that are going to the polls. How does Mumbai vote? What are its issues? Are there issues, or again, is it the same, you know, same khichdi that is pakoing in the rest of Maharashtra that will pako in Mumbai as well?
Well, Mumbai is very different demographics. I mean, not just from the revenues perspective that is the richest. I mean, you know, it is probably, the municipality budget is, as they say, richer than probably more than a dozen odd
and
states
this
in
election
India.
will also determine who ultimately runs the cash-rich BMC.
Cash-rich BMC and the postponement of the local body elections it didn't work out well for the UT, as they call it now. And also that assembly elections are around the corner. It's only 6 months down the lane. So Mumbai is very different. It is the core area where Uddhav Bhalasaheb Thackeray has to prove himself. Does he enjoy the sympathy? Yes. Will he be able to convert that sympathy into votes for him or for the NCP and the Congress? We don't know yet. We will know. There might be sympathy for his candidates if they are contesting against Shinde Sena candidates. But will he enjoy the same sympathetic vote against the BJP candidate? We don't know, because there is a split vote. The split vote is that people want to see very separately, you know, they segregate in that way whom they wish to see at the center, whom they wish to see at the state level. So from that perspective, Mumbai is very different from rest of Maharashtra. Let's concede that it doesn't work that same way that we are used to analyze.
Because there is also the Marathi speaker versus the Gujarati speaker. Is that divide deeper this time? There's also the North Indian versus the Marathi.
You see, it's deeper, and it used to work for the UT earlier because BJP used to kind of sway with the Gujarati and the North Indian voters. Shiv Sena used to tag along the Marathi voters, and this entire Mahayudh thing used to work nicely for them. Now, for the first time after a long gap, Shiv Sena is I'm talking about Uddhav Bhalasaheb Thackeray Shiv Sena. they are creating a campaign that okay, ये सारी नौकरी तो ले जाने गुजरात में. So that's a different kind of a campaign that all the jobs are going to Gujarat. Why? Because the industry is going to Gujarat. Why? Because these gentlemen are from Gujarat. So that kind of campaigning that is happening. At the same time, the same voters who are from Gujarat and North Indian background, they were kind of voting for Shiv Sena candidates all along because of their alliance with the BJP. So there is a danger as well. Why you are playing too much for the local Marathi Manu's card, at the same time you are alienating a huge chunk of your demographics, which is significant in electoral politics, you know. So much so that Shiv Sena in their previous avatar was forced to do Chhat Puja at Juhu Beach and also on. Why? Because they have to tap into that North Indian vote share.
Correct.
Now if they are doing a campaign against the Gujarati, against the North Indian, it's not a one-way traffic, right? इधर से आएगा इधर से जाएगा भी तो. So you need to be very careful. The previous Yuti coalition was more of a rainbow coalition of sort, and which the cement was Hindutva. That remains to be seen as well. While there is a huge sympathy for Sharad Pawar Senior, sympathy for Uddhav Thackeray as well, but there, let's face that Maharashtra politics in terms of Hindutva and secular politics was pretty much defined. Now, that polarization on this particular foundation of ideological difference has been blurred. Who would have thought Congress contesting with Shiv Sena, Bala Saheb Thackre's support? Who would have thought BJP contesting along with Sharad Pawar's nephew, the breakaway NCP? The partition of Shiv Sena was something which was pretty much on the line because it has happened earlier as well. Narayan Rane happened, Chhagan Bhujbal happened. So I mean NCP se bahar koi aaya, koi individual sardars coming out of these pockets and joining two alliances was fine. But this time the party was gone, symbol was gone, and now both the symbols are with the guys who are seen by their original party members as the rebel, not rebel. Dhokebaj, Dagabaj, Qatar, those kind of terms that are used. And then they are going in with the popularity of Narendra Modi, trying to see if Narendra Modi's popularity can plaster all this and whatsoever is wrong. Can he do that? That's where the crux of this election is. BJP has done a smart thing. That is, they are contesting 29 seats on their symbol. They have taken the number of seats where they are symbolic. They are contesting. Now, will that be enough for them? That remains to be seen. However, the numbers before the election started and the trackers, we have been consistently saying whatever the BJP and NDA has done in Maharashtra, by and large, it has not gone down well with their own supporters. It's not the kind of politics which when they said that they are a party with a difference. That sort of thing, it didn't work out well with their vote.
Okay.
But Narendra Modi's popularity is an equally, what shall I say, equally strong sentiment and a trend that nobody can deny. His popularity soars over everything else.
That's true.
Now, can he overcome all these negativities and just say, कि यार बाकी सब भूल जाओ, मुझे वोट दो? That kind of thing.
So that's what's happening in this rally as well. बाकी सब भूल जाओ. For hoarding collapse, bhul jao, jo hua politically in the last 1.5 years, bhul jao, khichdi jo paki. I'm here.
I'm here and you are voting for me, so vote for me. That's what it is happening. That's what he is asking the vote for. And then the rally the other way around is about the entire coalition of India Alliance coming together. I believe that even Arvind Kejriwal is there.
Correct.
And Akhilesh Yadav is there. So the North Indian vote bank, that thing comes in. So, I mean, these people are the same people who are have been ruling the North Indian states. They are pretty strong leaders from the North Indian perspective, you know. So these things they are going to matter. It's important for them to look into it. But at the end of the day, if the turnout is going down, then it comes down to the core vote. Who is actually pulling out their core vote to the booth? And let's not forget that BJP actually pulled the impossible from, in Madhya Pradesh.
Correct.
It was just their organizational strength, for God's sake. There was no reason for BJP to win, but they managed to win simply because BJP's organizational structure and strength outperformed Congress organizational structure and strength in Madhya Pradesh.
Okay.
So we need to keep an eye on that.
All right, which means Maharashtra, all said and done, is probably going to be the most interesting state to watch in this election.
Absolutely. Maharashtra and West Bengal. I always say these are two battleground and mother of all elections. But Maharashtra's, by virtue of the one is by virtue of high turnout, that the contest is very interesting, and one by virtue of the low turnout, that contest. So there are two contrasts. But yeah, it's worth for 4th of June. I can tell you one thing. West Bengal and Maharashtra, 42 seats and 48 seats. Don't take any seat on the face value till the final EVM is counted and done and dusted. It is going to be a seesaw like this with each opening round. You are going to see a hell of a close and wonderful fight in this Tuesday.
Chaliye, inshallah. We'll leave it there. Yashwant Deshmukh, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.